Edward, it is a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about this fascinating film. I'm a big fan of your work. Let me start by asking your last two films, both critically and commercially acclaimed, and interestingly, both in my top five or their respective years, are quite different in terms of genre, in terms of the topics that they present. So, what do you see as the unifying thread between them, and now with Ballad as well, if there is one? Because for me, it's the humanity of your characters, no matter the setting or the environment.
Thank you so much, Felix. I mean, for me, the common thread is that they're all stories that are told from a very singular, particular perspective, trying to creep into a person, into my main character's brain and stomach, basically, making you feel what they feel, taking their POV, like living through them, going through life, how they go through life, but also they're all stories of people in a way at war with themselves. You know, Felix is really in a war, and Rafe is in a war with his doubt and his faith, and Colin is in a war with his addiction. And in the end, they all find some sort of peace within themselves. You know, they're all in search of home and find the beginning of a home in the end of the movie.
Thank you for that. I agree 100%. So, the characters, like you were saying, is very, very complex. The main character is kind of like an anti-hero. He lives his life, shaped by the risks, by gambling, trying to escape. So, is there like a specific aspect that you want the audience to feel towards him, like maybe compassion, or maybe people to identify with him somehow?
Well, the wonderful thing about our main actor, Colin Farrell, is that he's so open. He's so giving. He's so generous. He is, he is so willing to share vulnerability, and that takes us along for the ride. That takes us into the abyss and hopefully out of it in the end. And we need someone like that to experience a movie like this, because we don't want to go to dark places if the guy isn't nice, if we don't like the guy. But we inherently root for Colin. And, we go on this roller coaster ride with him. And that's what I would love the audience to feel and take away, like that they go through the story that in Colin's, basically with hand in hand with Colin.
Uh-huh. Another thing that I love about this film is the fact of let's say the locations, the settings, the art direction. It's like a main ingredient in your films. In Conclave, the art direction was vital and important to support the story. In this one too. So how was to balance this story against such a vibrant, active, noisy backdrop as Macau?
Um, Macau is a really exotic, interesting place. The colors are brighter, and or the more colorful, and the lights are brighter. But all it is there is to mirror whatever is going on inside of Colin's stomach, inside of basically his heart. And, there's an explosion of fireworks inside of him, of confusion, of twisted knots. And the set basically expresses that. I always wanted to, and because Colin has that vulnerability and that quiet, and Fala has a wonderful quiet confidence, I feel that is a good contrast to even if there are fireworks in the background, we do focus on her face and on his face and whatever they're feeling, and the fireworks are just an expression of their feelings.
Beautiful, beautiful scene, by the way. Which aspect? Let's talk about a little bit about the creative aspect of the film, and this is my last question. Which aspect do you find more challenging? Developing the creative elements like the look, the atmosphere, the rhythm, or shaping the characters within the narrative? Because what I love about your work is how seamlessly and beautifully all these elements come together.
It's all such a challenge, everything is important. The camera is important, every shot is important, the costume is important, the sweat of the makeup is important. But what most important is that we care about the characters on the screen, that we follow them. And that is definitely, like, if that doesn't work, none of it works. You can, forgive a bad shot. I can't forgive myself, but the audience does forgive, you know? But they can't forgive a boring story or a character they don't care about. So that always has to be at the heart of it. We need actors that we love, we need stories that we love, and we need characters that we care about, and then we can go on any wild ride. And hopefully it all comes together. For me, it's equally important.
It did. So thank you so much, Mr. Berger. So my time is up. Again, congratulations on such a fascinating film, and hope to meet you at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you so much.